But nah, man, we need something though. This last one, this was a weird one. Why are white supremacists back in the Taliban?
Yeah, I had came across an article. I'm actually looking at it now that white supremacists have been inspired by what the Taliban takeover, and the U.S. government has gotten word that they're using this like as a motivation, a symbol to start another civil war, and they feel like this was a success for the Taliban. And I'm just like, I'm reading it, I'm just like, oh nah, yeah, y'all know this and comfortably know this information. But once again, like they just let the roam free. Like they should have. They're still not considered a terrorist group, but that's another topic.
I didn't even know we just really knew where the white supremacists were. We just know where they are.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not. It's just the U.S. though.
We just
Canada has identified
Kansas?
like I think the Pride Boys or Proud Boys or whatever it was.
I heard this term.
They changed their name to
they've
oh, this is a legitimate organization.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They changed the KKK to the Proud Boys.
And Canada has banned them. Yeah.
That's a better name.
Yeah.
KKK
sounds better.
Old.
I mean, it was a nickname for a while.
Yeah.
It just finally turned the key.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand it. White pride, so whatever.
That's
corny.
That's just weird. I mean, I can see how I see the connection though. They are two similar type of groups, right? Radical extremists within a society that already exists.
Right.
Is what although I will say I don't really know what the Taliban's goal is either. Except I just always felt like, why are we there meddling in someone else's business? Because it's just weird.
Bingo. You know, there's so many. I was watching this video and it's ironic. I should have wrote down the points for this, but Afghanistan is such a resourceful and strategic geographic location in that area of the world that anyone would try to if anyone who has a capitalistic mind is going to try to take over this place. You know, their trade routes are great. They're oil rich. They have opium, like the opium fields are there. Like it's so many things, and not all of it is good, but it will definitely make you some money. So it's just a lot of things.
The capitalist mindset right there. That's the main goal getting accomplished.
Right.
We can make money. I'll go.
That's it. That's it. So it takes.
And I'm not anti-capitalism, but I get it. But it's just like, man, that's just. I just don't get it. I can't wrap my head around why we would go somewhere without a real game plan.
It could be a couple of reasons. It could be for the money. It could just be to encourage them to kill themselves and wipe them out so that they don't have to worry about
population control. I can see that.
Not even just population control, just a sheer hatred and thinking let these people kill themselves,
or we can kill them. Because I mean, Trump got into office. First 3 months of his presidency, he dropped the biggest bomb in history in Afghanistan. That was where it dropped. Biggest bomb that the U.S. has dropped was dropped in Afghanistan within 3 months.
Obviously, since a nuclear missile was dropped in Hiroshima.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to say that. People might hear this and be like, "He dropped a nuke."
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, I mean, they're still having birth defects to this day.
Crazy.
I mean, we don't know.
Dave Chappelle, they Hello Kitty was formed from nuclear missiles.
Sorry.
No, they still do have problems though with that one though.
I mean, that's like a crazy one. Like
you said, the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he was like, I mean, they still have the nuclear missiles and all. I don't know. I would be careful when you say the biggest bomb because there's gonna be some people out there that just
the news
like
agencies were putting it out.
Wow, but all right, that makes more sense now that you said his enemies were putting this out about him. Yeah. But I get what you mean, though. It's like, every president has their mark. Before him, they said Obama had the most drone strikes in history. Yep. And drones obviously weren't as popular before him. So it's whatever they have access to, it seems like the president is going to push that button.
It probably didn't even exist.
Yeah.
That's when it says new technology.
I think they started existing once that movie Stealth came out.
Stealth?
That's my conspiracy theory.
Yo,
that was Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, yep.
That was a good movie.
They took him out in there. I hated that.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
that
that they're
was a
saying that the reason that people are committing the Taliban's takeover is, and quoted, they quote, CNN had quoted that it's a lesson in love for the homeland, for freedom, and for religion, is what they quoted. The reason that people are supporting and backing it.
It doesn't sound like a bad thing, but I don't think any extremist group ever sounds bad.
Right. You got
It's
to
just like once you start
good.
seeing them, it's like, but I don't think you should kill children, though, right?
Right.
The
In order
kid's
to
probably
support
not
this.
suppressing you.
Right.
Yeah.
Their ideals are always supported by absurd actions.
Right.
Sounds-
it's the actions.
sounds a
like,
bit
they speak
hyperbolic.
louder than the words. Yeah. It's but
You got extremists in the title for a reason.
yo, that's the truth. That's the truth. But
That's bad though.
hopefully they figure this out, man. Because I don't want them to. I don't even know what to say because they've already been going through it for 10, 15 years. Because to me, it felt like even when we were there, it was chaos. You know, from you bringing up the story that back when Trump was a president, he dropped the biggest bomb. This was, 5 years ago now?
Yep.
So it's like, man, so that's 5 years ago. Before that, you had Obama with the drone strikes.
Yeah.
So it's like George Bush entered them, right?
They've
And,
occupied. The U.S. has occupied Afghanistan for 20 years.
yeah, it's like,
This was
dude,
the ending of that 20-year war.
yo, that's just crazy. It's just like, it's a never ending thing. So to me, I see, you know, a lot of people, we got to stop the Taliban and this and that. I'm
the
like,
US is funny though.
it feels like we're just, it's a cycle.
We're funny. I tell you that we're funny because we been warring with them for 20 years, and then we gonna take the troops out and say, yeah, well, we've been fighting them for 20 years. Maybe we can get their help to fight ISIS.
That's why I think it must be like an enemy, you know, and we know they have the weapons now to help us because we gave it to them.
It's just funny. It's just funny. I don't know. If I got a worse enemy for 20 years and we beefing every year of those 20 years, I don't know if I could turn around and be like, all right, well, maybe you can help me take out this guy.
You might.
You
You think so?
Yeah, seen people come
If he's posing a
together.
big
After
enough
20
problem to
years,
you,
though?
if
That's
he's posing a
OD.
big enough problem to you, you might. But
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
get
if
your
ISIS
side
is
too,
as
though.
big as
I
the
get your
Taliban,
side too.
though.
You just ended a 20-year war, and not even 2 or 3 months later, you asking for help. Is it's a little bit bold.
I might
But
be looking at it.
It
But
depends.
when you end a war, you've essentially formed a relationship to some degree.
On
It's
what
closure.
terms?
Either
Yeah.
the person
they met
knows
high
that you
tailed it
must
out of there.
submit,
They left.
or you decided that we can both benefit from one another.
Right.
Either way, there's some sort of functioning relationship that has been formed at this point.
True.
Or terminated.
Or terminate.
Depends on how you
Either
left
so
it.
you're forcing a submission, so
Right.
now you have to help.
True. I think it also came down because it's kind of back to the earlier conversation we were talking about with at Disney, right? It's about money. It really comes back to that money thing because I'm sure the U.S. sat down, kind of how we are now, pay like 20 other people with stripes on their shoulders who don't know anything, and they all decided, they gave their opinions, and then the last person spoke, and it was like, well, here's the bucks, here's the numbers, and that was the plan they went with. Like one person got him, said we can save this many people. The other person came up, we can help building this type of infrastructure. Another person stepped up, and then the last person who spoke was the numbers guy, and they were like, numbers guy, best plan. We can send troops. That's gonna cost us money. We can send troops. That's gonna cost us votes, because there are people who don't want to reelect a president who is starting wars, who they feel is starting a war, which we all know perception is everything. He's not starting a war, but we know when you bring soldiers home and then you deploy soldiers, people are only going to remember that you deployed them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, back to that earlier thing,
People
the
only remember
cancel
the bad.
culture. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Cancel
Yep.
Biden.
Remember the
He's
bad.
terrible.
You say?
It's like,
People
dang.
only remember the bad.
Yeah.
This man saved 90 lives.
Yep.
He killed someone.
He
Wait,
scratched
one person?
He scratched one person in the mix.
Are we sure they're dead? We have no confirmation, but he's assumed dead. Oh my God. All right. But no, it's like, that's what it came down to, numbers, whether it was financial or it was re-election numbers. That's what this decision is here to work with them, I think. And it's unfortunate, but fortunate at the same time, because I think to some degree we have to think that way, because I don't think the best thing is to send our troops over there anymore. I really don't. I feel like even though we've caused chaos, it's like at that certain point where you're like, okay, maybe I should just leave this thing alone altogether and kind of let this figure out, because I've only been making it worse. Every time I step in and touch something, I break something else. And at this point, it's like, what are we going to go in there, create another fake regime that gets overturned as soon as we try to leave again? Or do we stay there forever? And then we have to commit troops there. These are people's children that have to go to a place where they might get killed. Because once somebody also knows you're staying forever, you're an enemy forever. And now it's no, we'll work together to fight someone else. It's you the problem now. So we're going to leave troops there. They're going to possibly get killed all the time. Because now they know they have a permanent enemy. So it's like it's a lose-lose. I think we should pull out and just kind of like, I don't know, cut our own grass for a while. As much as we can, but, you know, it's a tough job. Yeah. That's what I will say.
It is. It is. Either which way you go, you're going to be faulted for either which direction you take.
Yeah, dude. So from Shikari to the, you know, Disney and ESPN to Afghanistan, man. So it's been an interesting show.
But the world always continues to go on.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. But it was a good one.
The show will go on.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, man, this was a good one. So man, like we said, you know, this is the Aren't You Glad We Said It? Aren't You Glad I Said It podcast. We're gonna be kicking it here like this every week, gentlemen. I think this is the start of something pretty epic.
Yes, sir.
Have some good topics coming. The world is always gonna be changing. So
yeah, and if you guys got topics, definitely send them in.
Absolutely.
We want all the hot topics.
Yeah, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video if you're watching this on YouTube. And, you know, leave us a comment below. Like DJ said, you know, we want to know what's going on. We want to know what everybody's thinking and what else we can add to make this a better show for you guys. And with that, I think I'm good, man. You know, we'll leave some links below for our social medias and, you know, check us out, man. Have some interesting conversations there, too.
That's right.
And going to be starting a Facebook group soon. And so everybody can join the conversation and get rolling with this. All right, that's us signing out.
Don't miss it.